humid evening in 1954, a black family pulled into a gas station outside Anna, Illinois. The father stepped out to ask for directions, while his children stayed silent in the back seat. Across the road, nailed to a wooden post, was a warning: "Don't let the sun set on you here." This is the story of America's sundown towns. For decades, thousands of towns across the United States operated under an unwritten rule. Black Americans could work there, they could pass through. Sometimes they could even shop there, but they could not stay after dark. Some towns used signs, others used sirens. Some relied on police patrols or organized mobs. The message was always understood: leave before sunset. Most people associate segregation with the Deep South. Water fountains, Jim Crow laws, separate schools and buses. But sundown towns spread far beyond the South. They existed in states like Illinois, Indiana, Oregon, Ohio, Michigan, and California. Entire communities across the Midwest and West became almost completely white on purpose. Many of these towns were not always white. In the late 1800s, black families lived throughout small-town America. Some owned businesses, some worked railroads or farms. Others had escaped the South, hoping for something safer. But as the country industrialized and racial tensions grew, violent campaigns began pushing black residents out. Sometimes it happened overnight. In 1901, the town of Pierce City, Missouri, exploded into chaos after a white woman was found murdered. A black man was accused without trial. Before any investigation concluded, white mobs began attacking black neighborhoods. Homes were burned. Families fled into nearby forests. Several people were lynched. By the next morning, most of the town's black population had disappeared. They never returned. Other towns removed black residents more quietly. Local business owners refused housing. Banks denied loans. Real estate agents blocked purchases. Police stopped black drivers repeatedly until they stopped coming altogether. The violence didn't always need to be visible. Fear did most of the work. One of the most infamous examples was Anna, Illinois. Some claimed the town's name stood for "Ain't no Negroes allowed." Whether true or not, the reputation stuck for generations. Black travelers avoided stopping there at night. Truck drivers warned each other. Parents passed stories to their children. And it wasn't just rumors. Across America, signs stood at town borders with messages that were impossible to misunderstand. Whites only after dark. Colored people, read and run. Don't let the sun set on you here. Many signs disappeared over time, but photographs survived. So did memories. The danger was real enough that black Americans built entire systems around avoiding it. In 1936, Victor Hugo Green created the Negro Motorist Green Book. It was a travel guide listing hotels, restaurants, gas stations, and homes where black travelers could safely stop. During segregation, a simple road trip could become dangerous within minutes. A wrong turn at night might lead into a hostile town with nowhere safe to sleep. The Green Book became essential. Families carried it across state lines the way someone might carry survival equipment. Athletes and musicians experienced the same thing. Black entertainers performing in white towns often couldn't stay in local hotels afterward. They would finish shows in packed theaters, receive applause from white audiences, then drive hours through the night searching for somewhere safe enough to rest. Even some soldiers, returning from World War II, encountered sundown restrictions while wearing American uniforms. They'd fought overseas for freedoms they still didn't fully possess at home. Many sundown towns justified their actions through the language of order and safety. Local newspapers described black residents as threats to property values or public peace. Town councils denied discrimination entirely while maintaining all white neighborhoods for decades. The system became deeply embedded in American suburbia after World War II. As millions of white families moved into new suburbs, black Americans were systematically excluded through housing covenants and federal lending practices. One of the most powerful tools was redlining. Banks and government agencies marked black neighborhoods as financially risky, making loans almost impossible to obtain. Meanwhile, white suburbs received massive investment. Some developments included explicit contracts stating homes could not be sold to non-white families. Entire towns transformed into unofficial white zones without needing signs anymore. And unlike segregation laws in the South, sundown towns often escaped national attention. There were no dramatic television images of separate water fountains, no governors standing in school doorways. The discrimination was quieter, more decentralized, harder to expose. Some towns became so uniformly white that residents later denied anything had ever happened. In the 1970s and 1980s, civil rights researchers began uncovering patterns hidden in census data. Hundreds of towns across northern states had black populations that suddenly collapsed to near zero within a single decade, sometimes after race riots, sometimes after organized expulsions, sometimes after years of intimidation nobody formally documented. Historian James Lowen spent years investigating these towns. He found thousands of possible examples across the United States. Many communities still showed overwhelming racial homogeneity generations later. Some residents admitted the truth openly. Others insisted black families just never wanted to live there. But former residents remembered different stories. Stories about police escorts to county lines, about houses vandalized after dark, about schools warning black students not to stay too late after sports games, about local restaurants refusing service once the sun went down. Some stories sounded almost unreal. In certain towns, sirens would sound at sunset every evening. Officially, they marked curfew hours or volunteer firefighter shifts. But black residents understood the real meaning immediately: leave. Even today, some former Sundown towns still carry reputations that discourage outsiders from stopping there at night. Online maps and databases track communities accused of maintaining hostile racial climates. In some places, demographic patterns remain almost unchanged from decades earlier. Yet the legacy of sundown towns extends beyond individual communities. They helped shape modern American geography itself: wealth accumulation, school funding, property ownership, policing patterns, political divides. Entire regions became racially segregated through generations of exclusion. Many Americans never learned this history. Sundown towns rarely appeared in textbooks. Some local governments avoided discussing them entirely. Acknowledging the past raised uncomfortable questions about property wealth, community identity, and inherited privilege. But the evidence never fully disappeared. Old newspaper archives, census records, family stories, real estate contracts, photographs of signs standing beside highways. And then there are the towns themselves. Drive through parts of the Midwest late at night, and you'll still find communities with almost no black residents, despite being surrounded by diverse cities only miles away. Some changed. Some publicly apologized. Others stayed silent. The signs mostly vanished long ago. But for generations of black Americans, the warning didn't need to stay posted forever. Once a town became known, the memory spread on its own. Parents warned their children. Travelers warned their friends. Entire routes across America were shaped by fear passed quietly between families. And in some places, as the sun still drops below empty streets and old railroad tracks, people continue driving without stopping.